Hi, welcome to the second lesson video for Algebra 2, Waller High School. Today we're going to be solving inequalities in applications. This is Notes 1-2. You should have already done the intro to video lesson with your teacher. You should have filled in. You follow the steps to solving equations. When you solve an inequality, it's just like solving an equation. Same steps, you just have a different verb. Here our verb in this problem down here is greater than or equal to. In an equation, you have an equal sign. Step 2 of an inequality, you just have to remember 2 additional things for inequalities. Don't forget to switch the direction of the inequality when dividing by a negative. You should have filled those blanks in with your teacher on the first page. Okay, here's an example. Find the solution to 9x plus 2 is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 14. So notice you have a variable on both sides. So we're going to follow the steps for solving an equation with the variables on both sides that we did yesterday. So again, you're going to move the smaller variable, or I should say the variable with the smaller coefficient. So your smaller coefficient is negative 3, so we're going to remove it. I said move it, but really we're going to remove it. We're going to make it 0. So we're going to plus 3x here. And that means we also have to be fair, and we have to do it to the other side of the inequality sign. So these cancel, and you get 12x plus 2 greater than or equal to 14. So now it's just like a two-step equation. You always undo the addition or subtraction first. So we're going to get rid of that plus 2. By minusing 2. And hopefully you're working ahead of me. You should be really good at these after yesterday. Some of you were doing fabulous in class. Okay, greater than or equal to. Actually, most of you were doing fabulous because you were trying so hard. Okay, so now what do? Tell your teacher. You all know what to do. You have to undo this times. So you do what? You divide both sides by 12. Okay, so these 12s cancel, and so the x is by itself. And it's greater than or equal to. Now, it might be an instinct to say, well, what happens if we cancel these 12s? Because these 12s cancel. Well, because there's nothing left with these, you don't cancel them. You just take 12 divided by 12, which is 1. And that's your solution. So that would go down here. X is greater than or equal to 1. I don't know why I didn't just keep going. Sorry about that. Okay, so the other step we have to do besides switching the sign if you divide by negative, which we didn't divide by negative, we divided by a positive 12, is you must graph the solution. So you're going to go down here and you're going to graph it. So you graph it by figuring out, okay, my solutions are greater than or equal to 1, so they're like 1, 2, 3, 4. And on a number line, those are to the right of 0. So I'm going to put my 0 over here. And I'm just going to put some numbers around this 1. Which obviously 0 is around 1. So I have 1, 2. And try to put your little marks equally spaced. Mine aren't doing so hot. And then I'm going to put some negatives over here. And then you put a circle at 1, this number right here, you put a circle, and because it's or equal to, because of that line on the bottom, greater than or equal to, we're going to shade that circle in. If it just said greater than, you wouldn't shade the circle in. And since it's greater than, it's all the numbers over here that would keep going. I stopped at 3, but it could keep going and have 4 and 5 and 6, etc. Now, if you did an inequality where this ended up being a negative 12x and you divided by a negative 12, you'd flip this sign and make it less than or equal to. And you should have seen that in the intro to the video lesson. Okay, applications. Brenda is buying a new car costing $16,500. She can put $3,000 down and pay $500 per month. When you see that word per month, that means it's $500 times 1 month, $500 times 2 months, depending on how many months there are. Write an equation that could be used to find out how many months it will take Brianna to pay for the car. How many months will it take her to pay for the car? So you write an equation for how many months, and then you're going to find how many months. So you're going to solve that equation. So since it says you're trying to find out how many months, whatever you're trying to find is what goes here. So x equals how many months. Hopefully you can write faster than me. Let's try. I'm going to try to type this and see if it'll go a little bit faster here. So, how many months? And let's just delete. I think you all agree that that's going to go a little bit faster than writing it. Okay. Let's scroll down. I moved the equation down here. Okay, so let's write your equation. So you start with whatever the amount of money you start with. So the amount of money we started with is $3,000, so 3,000, and then we pay 500 per month. So plus 500. Now if it was 1 month, you'd say times 1. If it was 2 months, you'd times by 2. If it was 3 months, you'd times by 3. But how many months is it? Well, it shows you right here. X equals how many months? So we're going to times by X. And that equals the total amount, which I think it was up at the top, 16,500. And then I'm going to leave you to solve that by subtracting 3,000 to both sides and then dividing by 500. Next application. Okay, Kendra was comparing 2 DSL services. One service charges $300 for installation and $50 per month. The other service charges $200 for installation and $60 per month. And again, that per month, there's your little key, per month. So $50 for 1 month would be 50 times 1, for 2 months times 2, for 3 months times 3. Same with the 60 per month. So write an inequality. We'll see that word inequality, so your verb isn't going to be an equal sign, or it would say equation. That can be used to find the number of months m. Now they tell us to use m. I put x down here. You can scribble this out and put m because the problem tells us to use m. So we're just going to do that. If you like x and you're opposed to m, just use x. That's okay. For which Kendra must subscribe to the $50 per month service in order to save money in the long run. Save is a keyword. Okay, so m again is the number of months, because it says right here, find the number of months m. So I'm going to type this again, number of months. And so our equation, actually it says equation, and you can cross this word out and actually put inequality, because it doesn't tell us to write an equation, it says inequality. Okay, so our inequality is this. So the first DSL service says 300 plus 50 per month. 50 times 1 for 1 month, 50 times 2 for 2 months, 50 times 3 for 3 months. But it's not 1, 2, or 3, it's m. And then let's leave a space for our inequality sign, because we don't know that right now. But we do know that it's $200 for the other DSL plus 60 per month, so 60 times however many months. Now it says we want to save money. That means we're going to pay less for the 50-month service. So this one needs to be less than. And now you solve it just like we solved the first one. You remove the smaller m. So you remove 50m by subtracting 50m to both sides. And you'll get 10m over here, 10m plus 200 over here is greater than 300 on the other side. I'm reading it backwards. You could say 300 is less than 200 plus 10m. And then you subtract 200 to both sides and divide by 10. I'm going to let your teacher do that with you. If you're doing this at home, you should get that your number of months here, once you subtract 200, you get 100 divided by 10 is 10. So you should get the months is greater than 10 months. Okay, that's it for today. Make sure you ask your teacher questions. Signing off.